I think it's just really easy to judge people and think, oh my gosh, why are they acting like this? Or criticize people and just decide they're crazy or they're this or they're that. When without the context of the situation, and I think that I was a victim of that, doing that to myself, judging myself without giving myself space and room to. I've officially moved out on my own apartment for the first time, and there is a level of growth that I feel I've attained from just being in my own space. There is something to having space. We all can benefit from having space, and you can reference my last video to where I talked about space. My poem, Make Space for Me. That has been the overarching theme of my life. That has been the overarching theme of just what it means to love myself and how I've been trying to love myself. When I had the website up, the website had a forum, which I had intended to be a space, a safe space for people to share ideas, just like on TikTok and Twitter. TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, but just this would be my website where I hold the space and I facilitate it for all. I remember having a conversation with my ex where he said, well, the world nowadays is just too sensitive. Everybody, it needs to be politically correct because everybody is sensitive. And I said, my argument to that is, well, there needs to be a safe space for people because the world is hard and things are hard. So where can we go where we can feel safe, where we can't be judged? Same conversation I had with my dad. You're being rough on him. And he said, I'm preparing him for the world. And I said, yes, the world is rough. And I get where you're coming from. But where can we go where we're not around roughness? Because the world is rough and things are hard already. And isn't home supposed to be somewhere where you can feel safe? Isn't that supposed to be your space? Where is that place? Anyway, I feel like a couple years back, I heard God say to me, show the process. I did not listen. I did not do it. I feel like he also told me, you're giving birth. When I put those things together, it seems like this content that I've been making, which is just being live in the moment, showing you how I get up and work through OCD triggers, how I work through relationship failures, ex failures, manifestation failures, all of these different things. And we're growing and we're flourishing. And I don't really know how ultimately but I do know that everything in my life has gotten better. The things that I struggle with in any area you pick, whether in relationships or in your home or in your career, giving space to the situation has never been a bad thing. It's always been a beneficial thing. Giving myself space to express on Instagram has been so healing. And it's just felt so good to get these things off my chest, which in reality, I never did. I never let myself get these things off my chest. It should fall on someone's ears. There is something to venting. We call our friend up and we just want to listen. That is a human natural thing to want. Lost a friend, and I talk about these things on my Instagram account. I don't feel like I have a lot of people in my life right now that I could call up and talk to. And that's just turned into, well, I have all of these feelings and I have these things to get out and I need to put them somewhere, so I'm going to put them on social media. And that's just kind of just been life right now, and maybe for me. So I created my own space because I didn't have that space and I needed it. I needed space to be. My cousin, we had a conversation, same thing that I've been trying to do, where I try to just get on the phone and just kind of just vent and talk about how I feel, just want someone to listen, She's trying to give me advice and stuff, and it's like, I don't know how to explain that that's not what I need and that's not what I want right now, and there's just, can someone just listen? In my frustrated and angry, I got on TikTok and I just said, I hate this bitch, I hate all of these bitches in my family, they suck, why are people like this, just venting. Say something like, you said some messed up things. I said, I'm sorry that I hurt you. That wasn't my intention. Can you clarify what I said so that we can maybe talk through this? And she said, you called me out of my name. No one in my circle would ever do that or stand for that. And I was waiting a long time what to say. I was like, what to say? In this space, I am free to write, to express, to be without constraints, without judgment, without being put in a box, basically. And people need that, or else madness is inevitable. I think that, when I said that to her, and then I followed that message up by saying, it's really cool that you have people that you have people in your circle. I don't have people in my circle. I don't have people I could pick up the phone and call. And I was just venting. TikTok is my space for me to just vent and get my feelings out and express. It wasn't personal, and it never was. It wasn't personal then, and it never would be personal. I hope you could give me enough space to see that. In a lot of my relationships, I just feel like this would be such a beautiful addition to everything, and it's something I could give to more people, and it's something I would love to have given to me. And in the relationships that were the best, the most fulfilling in my life, it was always this aspect, space. You guys know what I'm talking about, like the oh my gosh, maybe I can insert it here. The that imagery we all loved of the TV with the DVD sign, boop boop boop, bumping on the things, whatever. The more space you give, the more room that thing has to go. Another perspective that I had of this that I'm struggling to express is something that's like closed in, like my fist. And this is the container it's in. But hey guys, just popping in here. I found an imagery to describe this, what I was trying to talk about. It's this, as you can see, there's a chamber where the gas is in there, and as you can see, the smaller that the chamber becomes, the smaller the container becomes, the faster, the more often the particles are hitting the other sides. The guy in the video tells me this is called Boyle's Law. And this is talking about pressure, but pressure wasn't the part that I was highlighting. I was highlighting the small. As you can see, the smaller the container, the more often they're hitting it. But pressure is a really good way to describe it because, as I said, the smaller the container, the less space you give yourself. Madness is inevitable because the pressure builds. Hello, pressure, emotion, energy, blow up. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay, continue. The bigger the container, the more free and open the thing is. Stages of grief, denial, anger, acceptance. In those stages of grief, you go through each one. You go through one before you get to the next. But if I don't have enough space to figure that out, I would never get. I think we need to give our emotions space. We need to give ourselves space, and that can be in the form of time. We a lot of times want to get over things quickly, and we think if it's taking too long, or if we're still upset about something, it's like a moral flaw within us. But space has always been a good thing, and it's really easy to look at someone who is stressed out and frustrated and just raging out like me the other day, and to say that person is crazy and to put them in a box. But if you give them some more space, you may realize there's a lot other things going on, and maybe they're not acting in their best light, their best self, but maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe there's more to the situation. And I just think that a lot of us could benefit from space. A lot of us could benefit from opportunity, not just being labeled and put in a box and constrained to this or this. I thought that things were just black and white. You either love someone or you don't. You either cheat or you don't. It's simple. And when I was manifesting him and I was trying to make that relationship work, I would get hit with these barriers of just wanting it to just be simple, wanting it to just make sense. He either cares or he doesn't, so that it could be easy. And I would call my friends and family and I would be telling them the situation, and they would say, he doesn't care about you, he doesn't love you. And I would be not comfortable with that answer because it didn't feel like it contained all of the factors. Like it was just one perspective without the other information. There's more to the story. But because I wanted it to be simple, or because I wasn't giving the situation space, to me, if he didn't call me when he said he was going to call me, it just meant he didn't care. Or if he, I don't know. You know, it's complicated. It's like, without the space, you just think like, okay, you're quick to assume, and you're quick to judge something, and you're quick to make a decision about something without giving it enough time to breathe. There's a lot of times you can look at something zoomed in. You can take binoculars or a magnifier. You can look at it zoomed in, and you may have an idea of what you're looking at is what you're looking at. It is, I don't know, a group of things. What you're seeing, your eyes aren't deceiving you. But when you back it up, give it more space, and you back up, the whole picture changes. And that's what I'm trying to giving things space. I think if he would have given me space, and I would have given him space, and things, if there was just more space instead of it just being they care or they don't care. There's love there, or there's not love. Maybe things would have been different. I know that I don't want to be judged by that same lens. I don't want to be seen as just the version of me that was screaming at my family members the other day. I hadn't slept, I hadn't eaten, I hadn't taken my meds, I ran out of my meds, my period was starting, all of these different things. And to be going through all of that and screaming at these people, and then for them to say, you're insane, you need to go to a mental hospital. And it's like, what about all the other factors? What about, is this all I am? Is that fair to judge me at this stage of where I'm at right now? I mean, when you put all of those things together and you see, obviously I'm in a very distressed state. If you were to consider those things, you would say, it makes sense that that person had this reaction. And if they had eaten, and if they had rested, and if they had their meds, if those things were in place, would they still have that reaction? Probably not. I mean, there's a lot of times when I don't rage as much as I raged, and I didn't like that in myself, as much as that happened, and I was very much raging. There are a lot of times when I don't rage. Most of the time I'm not raging. Like, it's about space. It's about space. Give people space. Give yourself space. It is love. It is, we need room to breathe. We need room to be a human being and to flip and turn and work through things and feel upset and then feel better. And it's not going to just be, you're just going to always feel good or you're going to always feel bad, but let ourselves explore it. What I loved about my poem, and I guess this would be a good time to describe that. I guess I'll do that in the next video. What I loved about my poem was that I painted a very good picture of how making space for people and what happens when we don't make space and what is available for us when we do have space. And you can see that juxtaposed between the two adult characters, the man and the woman in the story, and then the two young characters, how much more happy and free and loved and how easy life felt for them, how much less pressure they had on them versus the two adults in contrast to them. Good. Okay, go to that. Oh, and see, I gave myself this space of 23 minutes of just yapping. And what did I discover? I discovered a lot of things. This tends to happen. When I make these videos, I tend to discover things that I wouldn't have before. So anyway, okay, next video. I love you guys. Thanks for watching.